Trees are woven into the fabric of our lives. They are beautiful and majestic, all the while supporting and sustaining life. Trees are a part of us as much as we are a part of them, coexisting in a sometimes fragile harmony. Now that forests have become cities populated by mankind, the ability to balance aesthetics with essential electric service can sometimes be a challenge. Take, for example, the Northeast blackout of 2003, when an overloaded transmission line in northern Ohio came into contact with a tree, causing a major power grid failure in the northeastern United States and Canada, affecting over 50 million people in 8 states. Millions of people depend on Duke Energy every day for the electricity to power their lives. And with nearly 300,000 miles of power lines across 6 states, our professional foresters and arborists understand the importance of maintaining the right balance between mankind's necessity for electricity and Mother Nature's ever-growing tree canopy. In the United States, trees and other vegetation coming in contact with or falling onto power lines is a leading cause of power outages. So when it comes to maintaining and restoring your power, our foresters and arborists are often the first line of defense. They are trained professionals who hold certifications from organizations like the International Society of Arboriculture. Additionally, many have degrees in forestry or natural resource management. Together they oversee the company's integrated vegetation management program, a program that uses industry-defined best practices to make sure there is always adequate clearance between utility lines and surrounding vegetation. It's specialized work that requires not only knowledge and experience, but more importantly, a true passion for trees, the environment, and customers. Duke Energy Vegetation Management Specialist Cordy Williamson is a 50-year Duke Energy veteran who has spent the last 25 years of his career helping trees, power lines, and people coexist.
It's a delicate balance. People become emotionally attached to their trees, and we have to respect that. From our company's beginning, Duke's always had a strong commitment to the communities we serve. As a company, I know our heart's in the right place, trying to keep the system safe and reliable while keeping our customers and the trees happy too.
System Forester Tom Johnson oversees vegetation management and safe work practices on Duke Energy distribution lines.
It was more than a century ago when Duke Energy began supplying power to our customers. Back then, rights were secured from landowners that allowed a network of power lines to become interconnected across the landscape.
This network of power lines is divided into 2 groups, transmission and distribution. Transmission lines carry high-voltage electricity from power plants to substations. From substations, lower voltage lines distribute the electricity to homes and businesses. To maintain these lines, Duke Energy encourages the right tree in the right place philosophy, which considers many variables when planting trees. For example, the mature height and canopy spread of the tree, as it will relate to surrounding structures like power poles, towers, and overhead power lines. Just as property owners have a responsibility to avoid placing trees or other obstructions in the right-of-way that might interfere with the operation, maintenance, or repair of power lines, Duke Energy also has the responsibility to manage trees that may disrupt power or damage electrical equipment. System Forester Jeff Racy oversees vegetation management and safe work practices on Duke Energy transmission lines.
Duke Energy's transmission lines serve entire communities and are generally interconnected to grid systems in other states and are regulated by states as well as the federal government. It is a matter of safety, reliability, and national security that the transmission line rights-of-way are closely monitored to make sure adequate vegetation clearances are in place at all times. Generally speaking, the higher voltage of the power lines, the wider the utility right-of-way. Some transmission line rights-of-way can be over 200 feet in width. To control vegetation in the transmission line right-of-way, crews use a variety of techniques, including aerial pruning, traditional pruning, trimming, mowing, and herbicides.
Selective use of herbicides is an environmentally friendly way to promote compatible plant species within the rights-of-way. Herbicides are applied on a routine schedule
to create a low-growing plant community that is compatible with power lines.
When energy is in high demand, like on extremely hot summer days, lines may sag by many feet. In windy conditions, high voltage lines may also sway from side to side and could potentially arc to trees that may not appear to be encroaching on the right-of-way. One wrong tree in the wrong place can cause fire or even disrupt power to an entire city, just like during the blackout of 2003. If tree work is scheduled to occur at your home, Duke Energy will attempt to let you know in advance. This notification may be a door hanger, personal visit, phone call, or even a neighborhood meeting. Regardless of the notification method, our vegetation management professionals are available to answer your questions so you know what to expect. Duke Energy's Betsy Webb oversees vegetation management along distribution rights of way.
Duke Energy makes a significant investment in maintaining utility right-of-ways each year. Sometimes to deliver safe, reliable power, trees have to be pruned substantially or removed completely. We follow proven tree trimming, pruning, and removal standards as developed by the International Society of Arboriculture and the American National Standards Institute. In order to keep the tree healthy, limbs are trimmed back to the next branch without leaving stubs. The trees are trimmed using directional pruning methods that encourage growth away from power lines. Contractors do not shape trees or remove limbs that are already a safe distance away from the power lines.
When trimming operations are completed, crews are responsible for leaving the area neat. While working in maintained areas, small limbs and brush are chipped or hauled away. Manageable-sized pieces of wood are typically left behind in small stacks. When severe weather causes trees or other vegetation to fall across power lines, resulting in power outages, we cut the trees and brush so poles and lines can be replaced and re-energized. Disposal of any wood, limbs, or debris resulting from this type of emergency operation is the responsibility of the property owner.
Powering our customers' lives is very important work.
And it's work we take a great deal of pride in to help maintain the delicate balance between people, trees, and power lines.